It's very difficult indeed, I think, in the 2.5 hours of an open morning to really get a feel for what a place is like, to get to the heart of the culture of a school. This morning I'm not going to dwell on academic results. I think our pupils' achievements speak for themselves. But you may have questions for me after the session about some of those statistics. This morning, I'm not going to talk about the competition. They don't concern me. My job is not to try to convince you that we're better than School X or School Y, north, south, or west of us. Of course, east of us, the nearest school is on the west coast of Norway. No, my job today is to tell you about us and us alone, and to encourage you to think about how good the fit is for your son or daughter. If it's here, that's fine. If it's not, you will have your own reasons for deciding that. What I am going to do this morning, though, is to try to explain to you what we think it is that makes St. Felix so distinctive and so special, and why we think it is so important not just to focus on achieving outstanding academic results, but to concentrate in all that we do on other equally important skills, which we believe young people will need to cope with the challenges of a very uncertain world in the future. We think that 50% of the professional jobs which will exist 15 years from now don't exist at the moment. And frankly, that's terrifying. We think that the average 12-year-old today, by the time they reach the age of 45, a milestone I passed some years ago, will have done between 5 and 7 jobs by the age of 45. Again, quite mind-boggling and terribly scary. For people of my generation, and there are some of you in the room, the future appeared so much more certain and predictable, didn't it? Way back when. For people of their generation, the young people in the room today, the concept of a job for life is already a thing of the past, and the relative uncertainty, or the relative certainty that we enjoyed, is a thing of the past also. So the challenge, and it is a huge challenge, for heads like me and staff like these around you, is to make sure that pupils are not just prepared for that, but for the challenges of life beyond the school. It's what we call learning for life. Now, existing parents will have received a copy of the new school prospectus, and those who are new to the school may also have received a copy of this too. In the prospectus, I've tried to articulate what it is about this school that makes it so special and so different, given that I've been here now for a term and a half. I knew something about the school before I arrived last summer, but I've had to find out a lot more about it, and it really is a very special place. I think that's why I said yes to the governors and agreed to come here. We are known as a small, friendly, happy school, where each boy and girl is known as an individual, from the earliest point in the school right the way through to the point of departure. I believe we have some of the finest tutors I've ever come across. We have smaller class sizes than many schools, and again, most schools in the region. Forgive me, I'm having a go at the competition. What that means is that every boy and girl is very well known by their teachers and their tutors. We emphasize the importance to stick at a task. We are developing a new Habits of Mind program that integrates with the school curriculum, with the academic subjects. Because what we need to develop in children is the ability to unstick themselves when they get stuck. So the last thing they do is, "Sir, can you help me?" Not the first thing that they do. And that in learning is what we call independent learning. Confident, independent learners who know what to do when the going gets tough, because when they leave this school, boy, will it be tough. We're also keen to develop questioning, challenging minds. Boys and girls who will say, "I disagree. Why do you say that? there is an alternative opinion. What we don't do is spoon-feed children. What we do is encourage them to challenge our thinking, to challenge their thinking, and to learn for themselves. Again, in the life beyond school, that's an essential skill. To communicate with one another and with us and with the wider community. That again lies at the heart of what we try to do through our school curriculum. Creativity. Sadly, in an exam-driven world, an attainment-driven world, in many subjects of the curriculum, creativity has become marginalised. And that, for people of my generation, creative historians like me, I like to think, is a great tragedy. In a school like this, I can see many existing parents in the room with very creative children. Here, we unleash their potential. We encourage them to be creative thinkers, to push the boundaries of their perceived limits. Not just in the visual or the creative arts, but in the sciences, in mathematics, to go beyond what they thought was possible, to push themselves to find that there is more in them than they ever imagined. We're also incredibly keen to develop risk-taking. Now then, one of my governors had a bit of a fit when I showed him this slide. He said, well, there are health and safety implications, Headmaster. I said, I'm not encouraging him to leap off the ceiling or off the roof. If you don't take risks in life, you miss opportunities. That's the bottom line. Take a risk with your learning. Weigh up the options and push yourself to try something in a maths equation, in the games, in the swimming pool that you never felt you could do. Take that risk. Embrace those opportunities. For many of us, I think, the comfort zone is where we like to be. But what we say to children here, get out of that comfort zone. Shake yourself, find what you can do, and pursue it relentlessly. Leadership. Schools like this have many ways through which boys and girls can demonstrate their leadership. They can become prefects, heads of school, captains of the sports teams, and so on. But there's a leader in every one of us. You can have quiet leaders, humble leaders, not just the loud, extrovert leaders. And so what I'm saying there is that we are encouraging all children to search for the leader inside themselves. Because teams need leaders, but everyone needs to play a part. And so leaders will encourage teams to be as effective as possible. And that's right at the heart of what we try to do in the classrooms and on the games fields. The most important thing about learning is that you enjoy it. And how many of us from an earlier generation could really say that we sat there in classrooms with smiles on our faces? Hands up. You don't surprise me. At this school, children do. Because learning for life, learning in the classroom, learning across the whole breadth of the activities here, is about having fun. And as I say in the prospectus, pupils are encouraged to be curious and passionate about the extraordinary world in which they live. And that final sentence that you can't see, I say, they come to understand that laughter liberates creativity. Laughter liberates creativity. And that sometimes it is important not only to laugh at situations, but also at themselves. So that's the kind of school that St. Felix is. An outstanding education in an inspirational environment, truly an all-through school. James Heal, my current head boy, this is his 14th year at St. Felix. Man and boy, he said to me when I interviewed him for head of school, Headmaster, I've seen heads come and go. And I said, James, this one will see you off. Some other important dimensions I did point out, Tim. What some people sometimes forget is that St. Felix was a full boarding school. It is today a school with a significant boarding component. across 3 parts of the school: Fawcett House, Gardiner House and Somerville. We have nearly 90 boarders from a range of origins, some fairly local, others from overseas. But it is a very important dimension of the school and one that we are keen to further develop. The other thing that I can't not mention is our outstanding swimming success, and Sue is shrinking in nervousness behind the pillar there. Sue is absolutely brilliant at what she does. The parents in the room who have children involved in the swim program, they will know that. We attract some outstanding young people, not just for the swimming, but the swimming is a large component. Again, if you'd like to find out more about that, then please talk to Sue about it. Now, that's all I propose to say this morning. I know that one of my counterparts, a little way down the A12, spoke for a whole hour last Saturday morning. That's extraordinary. Even though I'm Welsh, and I probably could speak for 1 hour, you would be dying in the aisles. Today is about you getting a feel for this astonishingly different school. Please ask questions, have a good look, and if you are so minded, come back and find out more, and come and see me where perhaps I will spend an hour talking to you. That's a flavour of this school. Do you have any questions? I'm always slightly apprehensive when I ask that, because usually people ask me about rugby and things of that nature. Are there any general issues that you'd like me to address? About results, about resources, about facilities, nature of school day, anything at all like that? Yes?
Could you tell us something about the role of music in this school?
I know why you're asking me that question, because you have a particular musical association, very musical granddaughters. Music is at the heart of what we do at St. Felix. At the moment, Andrew Jenkins isn't able to be here because he's working with the choir in chapel, and we are hosting the William Alwyn Festival, much of it this week at the school. All boys and girls are strongly encouraged to be creative through their music, to sing or to play instruments. A change I've introduced this term is now all boys and girls on a Wednesday morning have congregational practice again in the chapel. That's in addition to the Thursday morning chapel service. And so in all that you see around you, if you walk down through the music corridor, you'll see evidence of our great successes in music. So it's very much part of our curriculum. If we are known for anything currently, I suppose, it's our music, it's our art, it's our drama. That's not to say we don't do other things well, but I suppose, along with photography too, these are the flagship subjects at the moment. Thank you. Any other questions? Well, you've been very submissive and very passive. Did you like the film show?
Yes.
Wasn't it good? Hands up if you thought it was the Virgin advert, though. My wife said you probably would, but there you go. Okay, we have another hour before open morning closes. Just one thing I would like to mention, please. Kerry Palmer, who's one of our students, she and her colleagues in Year 10 are holding a cake sale in the dining hall in support of the David Sheldrake Wildlife Trust. Kerry's very keen indeed to raise funds to support orphaned elephants. It's a very worthy cause. We do an awful lot of charitable work within the school, but I'd be very grateful if you had some pennies in your purses and you could purchase one of Kerry's cakes. That would help the cause very much indeed. So I'll be in the hall for the rest of the morning. If you'd like to stay behind and ask me questions, please do. We're just on time. That was only half an hour. Enjoy the rest of the morning. Thank you for visiting St. Felix, and I hope to see you again. Thank you very much.